Well, you're in your little room and you're working on something good, but if it's really good, you're gonna need a bigger room.
Well, hello, and a very, very happy New Year from Dexter and me. An apology first. Sorry for the last couple of very cobbled together videos, but I did cobble them together while I was in hospital over, well, not quite over Christmas. I went into hospital on the 10th of December for a routine, I thought was going to be a routine checkup. And 2 weeks and 2 operations and a heart pacemaker later, I came home late on Christmas Eve. So unfortunately the videos I put out since my unboxing of my GFX50R have been a little bit low budget, if you like. But anyway, never mind, we're back now, hopefully. Back on your screens for 2019. And the subject of my first video for 2019 is, of course, hang on, I can't use this arm at the moment, is my Fuji GFX50R. So I'll just call it the GFX, I think, it's much easier. And today I wanted to make a very quick hands-on first impressions of the camera. Now this camera came the day before I went into hospital, so I haven't had much of a chance to use the camera, to get accustomed to it. But I have handled it a couple of times. My wife brought it into hospital for me to have a bit of a play with, and yeah, so my first impressions are, well, coming from an XT20 and an XT2, it's bigger, obviously. The sensor is bigger, so the camera body is going to be bigger. But I thought it was going to be a lot heavier than it actually is. It's not, it's actually quite light. I spoilt myself and I bought a new 3-legged thing L bracket for it, for now. Splashed out on that. Yeah, it's not as heavy as I thought it was going to be. Obviously it's a lot bigger in the hand. And despite that, it is quite comfortable to hold. There is a small grip there, which is quite chunky enough to get your fingers around. So if you're coming from a DSLR, you're not really going to notice much of a size penalty, but you will notice that it's considerably lighter. Ergonomics wise, it's a beautiful camera to look at. Fuji's always are and always have been. It's the rangefinder style. It's not a rangefinder camera, it's a rangefinder style. So you've got the viewfinder set off to the side, it's not in the center of the camera. It's a gorgeous viewfinder, it's really bright. My one bugbear, there's no ISO dial or dedicated ISO dial on the back of the camera, so I've programmed the rear command dial to do ISO settings. Otherwise you've got your shutter speed and exposure comp. The on-off switch is a little bit strange. It's not built around the shutter button, it's actually a standalone item, and it's a bit, I don't know, it'll take a bit of getting used to, I guess. Buttons wise on the back, it does look like the Fuji designer sneezed and plonked them all on there. There's no D-pad, but there is a touch screen, so I managed to program the touch screen on this to mimic the D-pad functions on my XT2. As I was saying about the buttons, you've got little things like the playback button is there, but the delete button is all the way up there. So strange little things like that. It has got a joystick though, which is good, which is cool. The focus select is moved from the front of the camera to the back. But other than that, it's the usual Fuji menu system. It's the usual Fuji build quality. It's a fantastically built camera, I can tell that already. And it's the usual Fuji ergonomics. And that's about it really. I've taken one picture with this camera, and that was taken in the hospital car park. It's a picture of my wife, I'll pop it up now. I'm making this video on Thursday the 3rd of January. I'm hoping to get out on, and take some proper landscape shots, and if I can do that in time, I'll get them onto the end of this video that I'm making now. The lens I bought to go with the camera is the Fujifilm 32-64. Now this isn't a new lens, this has been out for a while. I decided on the zoom lens because I can only afford one at the moment. Until I can afford another one, it's going to be the only lens that's going to be stuck to the front of this camera. It's about a 24.8 to 49 point something full frame equivalent range. The crop factor is 0.78, somebody was telling me, I think. This lens is a monster. It is heavy. It does make the camera feel very front heavy if you're going to use it in the hand. Luckily, I'll be using this 99.9% of the time on a tripod, so things like that aren't going to be a worry. It's not excessively heavy that it's going to need a tripod collar or anything like that. It just does unbalance the camera if you're going to shoot it handheld. It's got a zoom ring, it's got a manual focus ring, and it's got a lockable aperture ring. So it locks in position C, which then enables you to use one of the dials to set aperture if you want to use it that way instead of using the aperture collar on the camera. It's got an A position, so it locks in C, you can't turn it. It locks in A, you can't turn it. A obviously is fully automatic. And then if you unlock it from there, you've got a lovely, beautiful, clicky, very positive aperture collar. The one picture I have taken with this camera, I have to say, I was blown away by the image quality. It was a very quick handheld portrait, but the amount of detail from the sensor was incredible. My wife wasn't very happy when she saw the detail that the camera can produce, I can tell you. But for me, it was an absolutely phenomenal output from this camera. Like I say, hopefully I'll have some more images to put up before the video goes out on Sunday, or Saturday night, or Sunday morning, and I can share those with you. Well, that's it really. That's my new camera. Other news, I'm going to need a new camera bag, obviously, because I've only got the one lens for this. I'm going to need to take my X-T2 or X-T20 out with me when I go out shooting. And I can't fit this and this lens and my other cameras in my current camera bag, so damn, I'm going to have to go and buy another camera bag. The hunt for a new macro lens is over. I have sold my 60mm f2.4 Fujifilm macro lens, and I'm getting a very old Nikon 105mm f2.8 D lens. I wanted the D obviously because I can adapt it to fit my X-T2 or X-T20, but then I'm going to need manual aperture controls. So, well, for some strange reason my Fuji X-T20 stopped recording before I could say goodbye to everybody, and I'm not so rude that I'd end a video without saying goodbye. And I wanted to let you know as well that over the next few weeks there may not be weekly uploads. So please bear with me while I recover from the couple of operations I've had. And also, I've been stopped from driving by my doctor for 4 to 6 weeks. So until he gives me the okay to start driving again, I'm relying on Lisa to take me out and about to try and make these videos. So it may be a little bit awkward over the next few weeks, but hopefully by the end of February, normal weekly uploads will be resumed. I got some quite exciting stuff planned for this year, especially with the GFX, but with my other cameras as well, not forgetting those. And I want to try and make some car-related content as well, so that might return to the channel. So from a very, very lazy Dexter and me,
a very, very, very happy, healthy, prosperous new year. I hope you have a great one, and you achieve all you want to achieve during 2019. And yeah, we'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.
We sit and watch umbrellas fly. I'm trying to keep my newspaper dry. I hear myself say, my boat's leaving now, so we shake